Hello, hello there. Welcome to the Catalyst Innovation Series. My name is John Deritu, and I'm going to be your instructor over the upcoming episodes. We are going to talk a lot about innovation. If you are passionate about solving pain points and problems in the society, then this is the right place for you. So let's get started. Innovation is a hot topic nowadays. You hear it basically everywhere. So if you're watching the news, if you work in a business or in corporate, you keep hearing the term innovation over and over and over again. What comes to your mind when you hear the word innovation? You might be thinking of a product like a smartphone, a new revolutionary smartphone. You might be thinking of a new service like Uber or Netflix. Or you might be thinking of some of the famous innovators that we have, Elon Musk, uh, and Jack Ma, and such people. And all of those things have something to do with innovation. You are not wrong. And innovation is all about creating valuable and meaningful solutions that address specific problems or challenges in the society. These solutions that you develop could be completely new, that nobody has ever heard about them, or you could be improving on the already existing solutions. So that's what innovation is all about. It's trying to find a way to solve pain points and challenges. And innovation sometimes is not just about solving problems. Sometimes it's about leveraging opportunities. For example, uh, with the emergence of the 5G network, a lot of companies might have asked themselves, how do we use this new form of technology to improve our offering or come up with a whole new product, right? So it's about identifying opportunities and leveraging on them, or it could be solving problems in the society. What is clear is that we do not innovate for the sake of it. We innovate with a goal in mind. The goal could be solving a pressing need in the society. It could be others innovate to make a lot of money, hopefully, and all of that. But we innovate with a goal in mind. Let me give you an example that you all know, especially in Kenya, the example of M-Pesa. Before the widespread adoption of M-Pesa, Kenyans primarily used a mix of formal and informal methods of transferring money. It included probably entrusting money to a bus conductor, using the banks that were there or post offices, and relying on personal networks of family and friends. Because also formal options like banks were often inaccessible, especially to those without documentation or who lived far from branches. And this was a real problem, a real pain point. And uh, as you can see, it was not a very inclusive. It was not a very inclusive model of financial transactions. So M-Pesa was created to address that challenge of financial exclusion in Kenya. So it was not just created for the sake of it. It was just innovated for the sake of it. There was a goal in mind, and the goal was to try and solve a societal need, the lack of access to formal banking services for many Kenyans. So just listening to what I've said, innovation is not just about the idea. You could have a very brilliant idea in your mind, even right now. But if you do not implement it, if you do not take it to heart and actually do something to realize that idea into something that is tangible, then it remains to just be an idea. But if it is to be an innovation, you have to couple that idea with some steps to actually turns that idea into something that is meaningful and useful in the society. So innovation is equals to idea plus implementation. And a lot of people don't have what it takes to implement ideas. They do not have what it takes to take an idea and turn it into something like a product or a service and actually deliver that to the people who need the most. And that is a big challenge. And hopefully in this series, we are going to see how we get to that in a structured, organized manner that makes sense. So we have talked about what innovation is all about, and and the fact that we don't innovate just for the sake of it. We innovate with a goal in mind. So who is an innovator? Am I an innovator? Are you an innovator? What do we mean by an innovator? And you could be thinking of people like Thomas Edison or Elon Musk, and those are good examples of innovators. They are people who sat down, looked at the needs, looked at what the future, imagined what the future was gonna be like, and they tried to come up with concepts. They tried to come up with designs on how we can quickly realize such a future or how we can be able to solve challenges. So, an innovator is somebody who takes it upon themselves to try and figure out solutions to challenges that people are facing or tries to make life better and easier for others. And there are examples of great innovators in Kenya, and I'm just going to mention a few as I wind up this specific episode. We have people like Joseph Guthiru and his solution, HirePack. This innovation addresses the problem of water hyacinth, which has been an issue. Water hyacinth infestation in Kenyan water bodies. And so he did not just innovate, he is innovating with a goal in mind to address this problem of hyacinth infestation. And he's turning this water hyacinth into a biodegradable plastic, offering an option, a sustainable alternative to traditional plastics. And you can check out that story. We have students from Kabarak University who, in response to severe drought that sometimes faces us due to climate change, they are developing a method of extracting flour from grass, providing a food source in difficult times. We have the likes of Magic Water by Beth, and it's trying to use solar technology to capture water from air and convert it to clean drinking water, addressing water scarcity in some of the areas. And I mean, looking at all those examples that I've mentioned, you see that most of these innovations are addressing something very specific that certain people are facing. And these innovations have a goal in mind. And these innovations are leveraging modern technology to try and realize these solutions, these ideas, this future, a future where people can convert air into water. That's from Beth, Magic Water, and so many other examples that I can mention over and over again. So this is the thing. Innovation requires empathy. It requires empathy in such a sense that you inherently feel obligated to try and solve people's problems. It requires empathy. So, are you an innovator? If every day you wake up and you want to solve challenges for other people and for yourself, and you're trying to figure out solutions daily, even though you have not started implementing it, you are built the right material. Thank you so much for your time and see you in the next episode.